Hey guys, I am bringing you a 9-year-old, almost 9 years old, just shy of 9-year-old Harbor Freight portable bandsaw, the old guy, that's not doing well. It's the rubber wheels up in here, I've replaced them once, new bearings and casters, but you can see something that this thing's not lining out right and seems starting to chew into its own frame. So it's not cutting good, the motor's hanging up, I've replaced the brushes. I mean, come on, almost 9 years old, building a lot of trailers. So they come out with this, which is their new one. Now, previous to this, it was a Chicago, and then Harbor Freight said that we're getting our ass beat with all the Chinese stuff with new names, so they rename stuff. It's still the same thing. A few improvements, not a lot. So this is a brand new one, $100, of course, with the coupon. A few other things I picked up when I'm up there is a shrinker stretcher kit and another grinder. I go through a lot of those. I've had the Makita grinders. I had them all. They all blow up about the same rate. So we're going to open this one up. We're going to cut with this one. We're going to cut with that one. We're going to compare. This was $100 9 years ago. This one's $100 a couple of days ago. So. And this one comes with a 90-day warranty, which gives you about 30 days inside that warranty to buy the extended warranty. I would recommend you make sure you open it up, cut rebar, cut pipe, cut square tube, cut a piece of angle. If it works great, don't worry about it. If it don't, get online, use your receipt number, and order you the warranty on that, because that's what's smart. I did a 3-year on this, and in the first year they replaced it. So that's why it's 9 years, but actually 8 years of use, if you've seen in my other video. There you go. Now, here it is. We're going to open it up and unbox it, see what comes with it. Give me a second, and we'll put one against the other, cutting some square tube right there. That's doing all the framing work inside this RV over here. So we've got a little bit of leftover for framing in the windows. And then we're going to have all the wood insert 2x2s that will go inside here so that we have attachment points, noise isolation, and additional rigidity to the frame, because this is just 065. If you look down here, 065 is just about the thickness of a quarter, you know, as far as the thickness, and that is not a whole lot of thickness. However, boxing it like I'm building it, it's very strong. Now, off to open this up and to compare. Okay, now the notable difference is that this one comes with a very nice case. It does come with a Ying Chow Wang, probably self-destructing blade. However, one of the things that's very good is that it is a common blade, like the Milwaukee or the DeWalt's would use. And this here is designed based on the Milwaukee, literally screw for screw. Copy of the Milwaukee that was a short-lived version that, you know, they changed out, so maybe they bought the licensing, I don't know. However, look at the bottom of my video. I'm going to put you a link where to get a package of these. These blades are just indestructible. They're tough as hell. They're Linux. About 20 bucks, you get a whole set of them. 3 come in a package. These are 18 tooth. You can get a 24. I use 18 because I cut a lot of regular metal. 44 and 7/8. Okay? And if you look over here, and they're 1/2 inch. You see right there, 1/2 inch. If you look over here, you will see about the same thing. The difference is that this blade is thicker. So it takes away a lot more materials. It's harder to get a plumb accuracy if you're trying to cut. This blade is thinner. You see that? So, big damn difference in the blade. So that 0.20 versus 0.25, 25's thicker. However, same blade, 44 and 7/8, half the difference in that. It'll work fine. Now over here you have your blade loosener and tightener. So if you look right there, very simple. Really easy to pop the blade back on and off, but also a little bit not as convenient as this one over here, because it gives apparently a more, see that? Positive lock to it. Very, very stout for that purpose. This one looks a little bit weaker than the old one, but I'm going to give it a shot. Now, up inside, the big difference is that these no longer come with the metal plate. Now, that means trash will get in here, but it'll also, unlike this one, trash will fall out. This model has the metal plate throughout. Debris fills this, eats the rubber up, and that's why. And I've taken the plate off, and believe me, you don't want to do that because you don't have a positive chance, or you don't have a chance of keeping that blade in. Notable difference now, double bearing, tracking bearing style. So what it does is it'll eventually leave a little bit of an imprint in your blade and keep your alignment better. Plus, the double bearing means that if one binds, the other one continues. Much better design. So I like that in comparison to this one over here. So if you look over there, I'll show you. See that single bearing in there. Now, this is a better design. These bearings, you can get a 10-pack of them for like $4. This bearing, you can get a 2-pack of them for $9. Not great. Better deal. So the new Bauer bandsaw, a lot easier to use. And we're going to go ahead and try it with the Yangpong Ching Su Vietnam blade. Now, the only thing I know made in Vietnam. It looks like it's already used, but it's made in Vietnam. The only thing I know made in Vietnam that's sold in America pretty commonly is a shitty little wind turbine out of Missouri. But maybe Vietnam made something good, so we're going to give this a shot. We're just going to try it. So you're going to get it right here inside your rollers, right here and right here, because you got your fence right here. You're not going to be able to get it past that fence once you get it around. Let me pull this up. Back up a little bit, please. And we're going to go ahead and work it all the way around. And this is not easy the first time you do it because the blade has a spring steel metal that it's made out of. All right, so you want to make sure you keep it in there. Get it inside that bearing. Don't try to close this without it because it will snap that blade in a heartbeat. Watch the blade tips. You know, I got fingers like leather, man, so I don't worry about these edges. They don't bother me. And then you're going to go around and put it on this. Now, one thing about its tracking is even if you don't get it perfect on there, it will tighten up and track straight. So reach around and you'll see how that moves right there. And then you'll lock it into place. The first time you cut, it'll lock itself into place a little better. If it pops off, there you go. Okay, now that once I've got the blade on, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, and plugged in, I'm going to give it just a little bit of a spin to make sure I get alignment, because don't even try to do this without trying it upside down. And that way your hand's on the other side where the trigger's at. You're far enough away, so if this pops off, you know, made in Vietnam, you got to be careful. They might have planted something in there to hurt you. You got to just hit it. And watch that blade, make sure she tracks true. There is a weld spot along inside this blade that if it's not made right, it'll spring out of here and bounce out at you. So try that out. And there you go. Now, we're going to take this other one over here and we're going to cut a piece of metal and show you the difference using the old one, and you're going to see a comparison between the two. All right, now, this one here is old. It is wore out, and I start the bite at a slight angle like you see here so that you don't get any hopping. If you try to put it flat when you first start, you might get rocking and hopping. So we're going to start the bite here, look down the length of the blade at your lines, and one of the tips that I give is using a square. Track all the way around, drawing your lines around your piece of material. If it's square, if it's round, well, you just have to be very accurate. That's the old one. All right, now you'll see how straight that one cut. I got another piece loaded that's going to be cut. There's a line for that, and look at that. Sets on there nice. But I've got a lot of practice with that one. We're going to go ahead and take this one, and we'll put our metal in so we don't knock it down. That's a piece that goes right up there. So We're going to put that down and get ready to cut. This one's going to compare itself to that one. I mean, you can look at them side by side. This one has a full 5-inch cut capability, and this one is 4.5. It's not quite as good. I don't cut a whole lot of things bigger than 4-inch, but here we go. We're going to cut with this one, and you will notice the difference. It is a lot easier on you because of the torque. There's the motor there driving a box going down. This one here is a motor here driving a box going down there. So a little bit easier with that. Kind of like the way a gear drive circular saw is as far as torque and control. This kind of works in the same way if you've used those before. So all right, so here we go. Now the nose is just a lot smoother. And it's a hell of a lot faster cutting, even with the Ying Chao Huang, what do they call that, Sweet Tang, Poon Tang, whatever blade on there from Vietnam. So maybe Vietnam did make something creatively good. And you can see that the angle it cut was very nice. Nice and square. So we'll have no problems using this one and using that one as a backup. So alright, and before I let you go on this video, I'm going to show you a little video extra. What I'm doing right now is I am going to be making this scraper right here. It usually has a wood handle, but what I've got is something you can get at any garage sale. This handle is made for a weight bar, you know, for lifting weights. That is going to be mounted on there. You can see it goes just so far onto here, but it's not going to weld good. However, if I make it go up against this stop, which is welded into place, this should be very stout, and this way you can chop grass and weeds, and this has nice comfort grip all down the length of it, so we're going to use it. Now, using this saw once again, we're going to show you how well it cuts this hardened steel. This is a hardened steel. Now we have this that makes up all the way, fill the weld around right there, and I've got myself a very nice scraper that will do everything I need as far as like chopping sod or chopping grass or opening up the ground or even just weed control. Now it still has this other welded piece here, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a rubber bicycle handle on the top of this. It's already got a plug for your hand, and I've made a nice scraper. Most of these can be found at a garage sale because people always buy weights with the intent on being Mr. Atlas, and they turn out to be Mr. Potbelly. Been there, done that, and this right here is a good little alternative. That is the video extra right there, so I'll fade back over to the original video. Bauer, which is just a named Chicago. And if you notice that with Harbor Freight, they've gone through this whole process of renaming everything. That's still Central Machinery. Next month, that'll probably be called the, you know, Clipico or some crap. They're trying to give everything some kind of credential. So pay no attention to all the new names on all the tools. Some of them have technically improved, but it's still Harbor Freight. Get your warranty if you can. And it isn't bad. I mean, that's 8 years. 9 years of ownership, 8 years on that one because I've returned one. And think about that. That's a lot of metal. And I cut and weld a lot of metal. So worth every dime. Don't forget to get yourself the Lennox blades. And that's why I put the link down there at the bottom. And I think I'll even try to keep it updated to where I get you the best price. Wolf Band Blade, portable bandsaw blade by Lennox. Better cutting, trust me. Even makes that old thing look good. All right, guys, y'all be good.